Hello and welcome back to Alex Goes Sailing. You join me in Guernsey as I'm exploring around the streets and various attractions, getting to see some pretty cool wartime stuff, check out the actual city and harbour area, even the little sailing lake. So in this episode we're actually going to be exploring some more of Guernsey as well as heading back to Alderney to prepare for going back across the channel as we have some upcoming weather windows, which is perfect. And we actually do a bit of sailing in this episode, so look forward to that too. But now we've got to get out of the harbour. Right, we've done our little trip around Guernsey and seen all the stuff, war tunnels and whatever else we've done. Just started out the outboard, I've unfolded the armour, easy, pulled the two lines out, and dinghy's tied on the back. And we're gonna undock. Wind is coming a little bit onto the dock, so we're gonna release this one, leave that one on a bit, get the arse out, and then back out. One boat behind us, nothing in front of us, so see how we get on. Keep going. If you hold it there a little bit, okay. I should put it in reverse. Right, we're all anchored up. Tucked in behind the cove. We could kind of go over there, but we'll see how low it gets now near the rocks. We're all tucked in here. It's like 9 meters deep. Tide's rising a little bit, and then it's going to drop some. So that's good. And we've got some carbonara on the go. Boil some pasta, buy some pre-chopped bacon, eggs, cheese. Bit of pepper in there, nice and simple. Smash it all together once it's all cooked, and Bob's your uncle. Now on this little excursion we decided to head inland and go for a bit of a walk and actually explore some of Guernsey's attractions. And the little known one we actually came across is called the Little Chapel. It's a small chapel in St Andrew, Guernsey. It was created in 1914 by Brother Deodat, and he planned to create a miniature version of the grotto and basilica at Lourdes. It's been said that it's the smallest functioning chapel in Europe, if not the world, and it's believed to be the world's smallest consecrated church. I think my hat's a bit too big for this place. I just found it really interesting and could not understand how someone could build something like that with all those little tiny little pieces and mosaics. That would just take ages and ages, and the size of it. I was hunched over in there. It's not very big, and the amount of levels and tunnels going all sorts of places in such a small thing, it's pretty wild. So if you're ever on Guernsey, you should definitely go check it out, as it's a hidden gem really. But anyway, let's get back to the boat.
He's struggling. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Right, we've left the last anchorage. We've seen a window for Tuesday to cross the channel, so hopefully it stays good. But today's Sunday, we need to refuel, so we'll do that tomorrow. And it's a work day tomorrow, so we're gonna go around the corner here. We could anchor in here somewhere, but the wind is meant to be switching to come kind of alongside the land here, so there's a chance of swell, but then it's switching from the north tomorrow. So we're gonna go to the anchorage just next to the harbour and anchor in there, see how we get on, and then we'll head over to Alderney tomorrow. So we're ready to head off Tuesday, and if worse comes to worse, Wednesday. But we also have Thursday as an option. But hopefully some good wind and we'll be able to sail all the way back across. Right, next day. It's lunchtime now. We've been over and had a sneaky bit of the showers over at the marina because we still know the code, but tell nobody. We're going to the fuel dock, which is the other side of this wall. The wind is on our nose at the minute, which means it'll be blowing us onto the dock. It kind of makes it a little easy to dock, but a little harder to get off. But we need to get fuel because tomorrow's the trip back across the channel, and a little later today, like 5, 6 o'clock, we're gonna head over to Alderney, catch a little bit of tide, maybe a little bit of sailing, and go to Alderney. So that is the plan. So we'll haul up the anchor, we've got the fender set up, lob them over the side, and we're gonna go get fuel. So just nip round the castle. And yeah, because I think at low tide you can't actually get the fuel, so yeah, although we probably could. Anyway, let's get cracking. We're going to be installing some new Velcro goodies. Now, I have 2 boxes just like this. One of these is for engine hours, so we're going to hook that up to the outboard, and the other one is to hook up the Victron network, VE network, to the Victron, so I can see it on my phone when I'm off of the boat, which is going to be super handy. And the engine hours one is for kind of gauging how much fuel I'm using, and how much I'm actually motoring. Because you never really know how much fuel you're going to use, and if you don't have a tachometer or anything like that with an outboard, like most don't, it's really hard to tell how much of fuel you're using. And the only other way to do that is by manually logging or how many hours you're running your outboard, and well, that's just too easy. We're going to do it the high-tech way, and it's all going to be tied in to the Velcro, and it's going to log it all, and it's going to be lovely. So we're going to get to installing these 2 new bits and bobs. Right, first one getting installed is the Victron VE Direct. That's a new one, and just like any other of the boxes that they have, exactly the same. You get this white box, wire, and then that connection there goes straight to one of the Victron boxes. Inside you get a wipe to make sure the surface is clean for actually sticking this white box down to something. And then there is a little code, so you can go look at the instructions on how to install it, but it's pretty straightforward. Right, now to fit that Victron connector, we're going to slide it on. A bit tight down there, so I just filmed it. But yeah, you should connect that up, put it out of place, and then it should all connect up. And the next thing on the list is the engine hour sensor. Exactly the same kind of thing, just 2 leads on the end. I've added these little connectors on to the end, little bullet collectors, and I'll show you why. Down here, we've got this bunch of connectors. This comes off of my remote for the outboard, and you've got the ignition key here. So that's ignition on, ignition off. Now, this is a red wire down here, so red, and then this one's white. This is for Tohatsu outboard. Might be different for different ones. You can also hook it up directly on the outboard itself, but for me it's going to be easier to just plug into there and there, which is, I think, just a positive, and then signal wire for ignition or something. And I've got a hole here, so I'm going to run it inside here and stick the box inside of here. So I'm going to do that now. Right, I've connected those two up now. I will reseal this with a little gasket thing at some point, but this is good for now. And I've done exactly the same thing to scan in that new box. Just get the QR code app, scan it in, and Bob's your uncle. So now we're going to do a bit of testing, and we're going to head over to Alderney, and we're going to see what it logs. Right, it's time to get ready to head to Alderney. So we're going to fold up my big solar array here. Got a full battery now. And this sits perfectly. When the sun gets a little lower, you can get the lifelines here just on the bottom of the panel, but I just can undo those if I need to. But I use the sheet lines just to secure it on there, so if the wind gusts up, there's a couple more clips at the top, it just holds it on. And then you got the furling line over here, a bit more tricky to do one-handed. Can you do it? Yes, you can. Then all you need to do is fold up the panel, and this will then go in a little pack and stored away underneath the cockpit, and the back of the boat just tucks underneath. So that's the plan. All the chores are done. Got the outboard on the back there. Dinghy is tied on. We're giving it a bit of length, so that allows us to slide it across the ammo and get it far enough forward so we don't have to untie it. But this dinghy tows pretty well. In rougher stuff, it does like to bury the nose and fill up with water, but that issue is predominantly because my boat is so low at the back there, it tows pretty flat, whereas on higher up boats, obviously you're going to get a better angle, and that's only happened when it's been like this length away from the boat. When it's been tucked in by the back, it's been pretty good. So apart from that, I think this is pretty solid for towing. Haven't really had a problem apart from that. That's happened twice in this 2-week trip. I tested it through some very choppy currents, and then one other time it was a little bit swelly and it caught probably a wake off a boat or something, and just planted a bow when I was in a trough of a wave and it was pulling it down through a wave. So not the best of conditions, but I leave the drain plug unplugged. Outboard's in, ready to go. All we need to do now is start the outboard, lift the hook, and we're heading to Alderney, so we'll come out of here straight that way. There is wind and it's coming from straight ahead of us, so we'll probably put both sails up, see if we can sail across, because that'll be nice. And well, we're just gonna wait till we get out past the castle so we can figure out what's what. But unzip this, go into wind, and get cracking. All right, let's get this anchor hoisted. Anchor locker. Tend to have to stuff all the road towards the back so I can get the anchor in nicely. Oink, 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 oink. Oink, oink, oink. There's so little wind. I might even be able to do this one-handed. Right, job done and dusted. Now back to the cockpit. Right, we're just coming out into the main channel, and that cruise ship is leaving now because you can see the water coming out of his anchor hole, cleaning its chain, and his smokestack is ripping, so we're gonna be a little bit careful of him. But apart from that, we've got the tide with us, or switching to go with us as we speak. Wind is dead in front of us, so we'll see how we go for sailing. We might be able to get the head sail up and do a close hauled kind of thing, so that'd be good. Current switch, I put the dinghy on the side there. It is our downwind side, but that's fine. The wind in a minute is literally coming from somewhere over there, and we're going about where we need to go. So we're going to turn up into the wind, we're going to unzip the bag, and we're going to hoist the main, and then get the head sail out, and we're going to try to finally sail all the way to somewhere. Oh no, camera! Come on, guys. The sun is setting. I see a little servo over there, but here's Alderney and dinghy surviving, Helena's surviving, and we got 3.7 knots pushing us through this little gap. It does get shallow, and there are races here, so like little waves that form because of the currents, but they shouldn't be too bad and they shouldn't last very long, and we're zooming, so I'm not too fussed. And you can find a gap through these ones. I think there's a little bit of one on the side here, and then there's a bit of a gap, and then you have a big stream of them along that side. So we should be able to just skirt in and hopefully miss a lot of it. We're going to go through some. I'll stick the head cam on and film it so you can see how this trimaran performs smashing through some waves for like 5 minutes. Because that's all it'll ever be. Because the harbour, the end of the harbour wall is literally just there, and there's a fort and the harbour there. So we haven't got far to go, but I can see a few white caps ahead of us. So we'll see, a little bit off the side here. We've only got the main up now, I furled in the head sail because it's easier to see. For the record, we just hit 11 knots, we got 4.5 now. Still no white caps, but I see them ahead. So we've got to be careful. I see some on this side here, some right across there. So I think my gap is coming up soon. Big wave! Oh, big wave! Woo! Spicy! We just caught the edge of the race. All of this is racing. We just caught the little corner of it, because I didn't want to get too close to the rocks over there. We've just got a few more to bash through. If this is what you call bashing, oh, this one will be. Whee! Very nice. You can see where we are on the map. We're already around the corner pretty much. And I think that's pretty much it for the races. So we made it through. Just gotta finish packing up this main that we dropped because we were going so fast. We were going away from the wind and it was just dead. so we dropped it. We're just going to finish off packing it up now when it gets a little bit calmer, and then we'll be into the marina, and well, not into the marina, into the harbour, and look at the sunset. Absolutely lovely. The sun is setting. We're just rounding into the harbour now. You can see the wall. We're throwing our track that we followed in. Should be pretty good. We've got 34 meters, but it's going to shoot up because there's like a little ridge, but that'll be fine. And we'll drop anchor. The waves are coming from a better direction, so it's going to be a bit more comfortable in there. So I'm happy about that one. Right, we're all anchored up. Sun is pretty much there. These on deck, I've left it upside down. It's going to dry out overnight-ish, even though it'll be a little bit dewy. Then we'll pack it up in the morning and stow everything away. Quite quick someone there. I'm just going to neaten up some of these ropes. And yeah, so that's it for today. And tomorrow is the crossing day, so I'm going to double check the weather, double check it again. And hopefully it's going to do what it says it's going to do, which it never will do, because it never does. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.